What's happening? How's it going?
What's happening? Not much. Been booting.
Been booting? Any good finds?
No, surprisingly slim. Just a handful of Blu-rays, but absolutely no games, no consoles.
You've drained it. There's
I've
nothing left.
literally, I think I have drained it in the last few months to a ridiculous level. Yes.
The boots, that is. You haven't drained other things that you could be draining.
No. Ah, well, cash, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, here we are again.
Yeah.
This is Winging It podcast. If ever there was one, I've no idea. Right, who's got a snappy intro?
I can try one. I'll try it.
Really got to write these. Go on then.
You're listening to the Grandad and Mr Tech podcast. I'm Grandad, buried under games I'll never play, joined as ever by Mr Tech, still obsessed with frame rates and resolution like a man possessed.
This is accurate.
Do you think that's accurate?
It's reasonably accurate. I'm becoming less obsessed. At the risk of blurring our identities, I have definitely been feeling like a retro tech, Mr. Retro Tech, lately, with the enjoyment coming from modern tech devices for playing retro games has been really rewarding in the last few weeks, I must say. And I keep having these moments where after a solid session playing some old game, I do kind of I have this moment where I'm like, yeah, I should just do this, shouldn't I? I should just play all these old games and stop playing modern games. And I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel like me, but you may have already had this moment, but I've reached a sort of a critical point with the retro handhelds that I've got, and the Retroid Pocket Mini version 2. Shout out to Retroid in particular. Now I've started to settle into actually using it and playing a good variety of things on it, and especially the later systems, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, GameCube. Yeah, I'm having these moments where it's just dawned on me that all these games that came out when I was of a gameplay. I mean, that's my era. That's our era, really, isn't it? PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a lot of these things still pass me by. My kind of gaming dark ages, as I would call them, where I just stopped gaming for a while. I think that was towards the tail end of PS2 era. And so I'm discovering games, PS2 games. You know, I like a weighty 100-hour RPG and a JRPG, and obviously there's some real classics and some interesting titles that I've never been anywhere near. I started playing Valkyrie Profile on holiday, and yeah, there's something tempting about just playing these games from your era, as I call it, and just kind of filling in the blanks. And it's starting to get its hooks into me. I'm a bit worried that
it's controversial statements, isn't it?
I still see all the new games coming out, and I still want to play them. Like, I want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
But when it's £50 or £60 or whatever it is at the moment, it's quite hard to just justify it, isn't it? When you think I've got decade or more's worth of the very best in gaming that I could dip into. Yeah, I think I'm losing. I think I'm losing my identity. What did I play that was
I was
modern?
gonna say, what was the last modern game you kind of played?
Well, I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I'm in the middle of playthroughs of several big weighty modern things like Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I started playing, mentioned it last time, the Harry Potter game.
Mm.
Not really a Harry Potter fan, but the game's just really good and very charming. Um, and I think what's hooking me on the retro is it's that change of scene, not scene, change of technology. There's something really refreshing about it, and you can see the craft work that goes into not the German techno band, the craft that's gone into some of the older games. I think because we're now far away from enough from them that they look a bit quaint and a little bit janky in some ways.
Mm.
In another, from another point of view, there's some real beauty to kind of what they achieved and how they were doing it, and this PlayStation 1 JRPG in particular, marrying kind of 3D rendered still backgrounds with polygonal character models, and it just, yeah, like there's, you can see the effort that went into it, and it's, that's really quite a buzz I'm finding.
Yeah, I find that because you know that they are pushing the systems to the absolute limit, and they didn't have all that technology like now to just churn out endless, FMV and super high def graphics. So I get what you mean, because you know that there's so much work gone in on how to push things like the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, even back in sort of Amiga days and things. There's quite a few documentaries around that. And a lot of the games programmers did talk about how they intentionally tried to push chips to the limit and think about little techniques and tricks and how they would move memory around and all that. I'm not that technologically minded to understand all of it, but it is about what have they got, what can it do, but then what can we make it and really kind of push it to its limits. And I know what you mean about when you've got devices like we have, where you think literally there are thousands of games that you can access, it does make it difficult to then, I suppose, justify, 50, £60 for a game. Um, and I suppose, I mean, as well as PS2, are you kind of discovering other kind of um, formats, or has it just been kind of that you've been picking up on?
Well, the big revelations for me in the last few months or weeks, I would say, have been the NES, which I've said
Mm,
before. Last time we spoke, I think I said I kind of wish I now had a real NES and some cartridges.
yeah.
That's been an absolute revelation to me. Um, just hitting a really fine sweet spot between capabilities, creativity, the ingenuity of how they made the games, the
Mm,
simplicity of the games. It's a really, because even a Super Nintendo game, for as old as they are, they can get quite complicated. You know, they can get
yeah.
quite involved. I'll talk about a particular game in a minute that I started playing. Um, they still, they can demand quite a lot of you.
Mm,
Whereas, if you go a little bit further back, a Game Boy game, even though I love the Game Boy to death, they they're pretty simple. I think something like Pokemon is pushing the limits of complexity for a Game Boy, given that's
yeah.
pretty in-depth RPG, really. So the NES hits this real sweet spot for me, which I didn't really know it could do, between complexity and artistry, and it's just, again, like anyone that knows more about old consoles than me will probably be shaking their head going, yeah, duh. But it's a genius. But I've having jumped a little bit further ahead and started playing. Let's talk about what I've been playing, because I want to talk about it a little bit. I've been playing Silent Hill on the PlayStation 1 for some reasons that will be clear to, well, some people if they follow us around the internet or can be bothered to do that. So I've been playing Silent Hill PlayStation 1, and I initially thought I would just crack it open, have a little look. I've never really played it properly. I knew a little bit about it. I'd seen some of the imagery of it. I kind of had a vague idea. You know, survival horror, wandering around a spooky, foggy town. Okay, it's probably a bit Resident Evil-ish. Didn't really know what to expect other than that. And the more I've played it, the more I've started to enjoy it. And sort of once I got used to the slightly annoying tank controls, and I felt I could actually play it properly and accept its limitations and just accept it for what it is, I've been loving it. I must say, it's like wow, this is great, you know. And again, very crude in a way, 3D techniques that they used, but they still managed to pull off some really great atmosphere. And there's a few moments where the little jumps scares are genuinely well thought out and crafted, and yeah, it's been a real joy. And I'm hopeful now that I can actually complete it. I've got a mind to complete this. I want to complete a game. I want to complete an old PlayStation game.
Yeah.
But last night I did hit a horrible point in the game where I've obviously been playing it slightly wrong and using up too much ammo and killing too many enemies, and I'm literally down to like my last box of bullets.
Oh, I hope not.
And I've got to a point where suddenly the game is chucking 2 times as many enemies at me, and they're twice as aggressive, and it's very much, oh, I think I may have messed this up irredeemably, because if I can't run past these things, which isn't that much fun. I know it's a survival horror game. You're not supposed to, it's not a shooter. You're not supposed to kill everything.
Right.
But it's quite brutal. And I have a feeling you can just play yourself into a corner where effectively it's, well, yeah, sorry, mate, you've just messed that up. You don't have to.
Oh, that's really frustrating.
I might have a save that's far enough back that I could possibly redeem myself, but I don't know if I want to do that. So
that's the trouble, though, isn't it? If you get into that kind of situation, you often haven't got the motivation to go back and to redo it. And I hate it when games do that. That is quite
But I'm really upset. I'm really upset because I genuinely was committed now, and I felt like, yeah, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to finish this.
Yeah,
and maybe I'll go and play Silent Hill 2 in the PlayStation 2 as if I've never, and that's going to be amazing, like jumping up to PS2. And it's just destroying my enthusiasm because it's just it's like uncompromising now. And I'm kind of annoyed they didn't code in some kind of get out clause for this if you screwed it up. Like it could intelligently see if you're at a certain stage and you've got no bullets, the code could realize and go, okay, mate, you've messed up. I tell you what, don't tell anyone that I did this, but I'll drop a few extra bullets around. Yeah, maybe I'll make you hunt them down. But if you go to this place, maybe there's like a room with like.
That's what I think. There should always be like a regeneration point or an area that you can go to.
You know, just I can't believe you can completely mess up your entire playthrough. And hardcore gamers probably say, well, yeah, mate, that's survival horror. What are you doing? You know, it's realism, but that's just demoralizing. I,
Yeah,
I think I think I'm going to turn on a cheat and give
I was going
myself.
to say, are there cheats for it that you can kind of
I
put
think
on? And
so. Yeah, I've explored it, and it seems that I can turn on hacking mode or whatever it's called, and that's sitting there is amongst the other things you can do is just infinite ammo, no reloading, and like I might just have to do it
I
because
think you're going to have to.
it would be such a shame now to not see through the rest of the game. I think I'm about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the way through,
Okay.
um, and I can't be running around and just it just
No.
yeah.
It's not, as you say, you boot it up and that's all you think about. It's like, well, I've used up everything. I'm going to struggle, and you, you're going to stop playing it altogether, aren't you, unless you do that.
Yeah, yeah. So a tale of joy and sorrow with that game because yeah, it's been a bit of a revelation playing it properly. And when you boot up some of these old games, I don't know if you get this, but because they're not so friendly in the UI back then, perhaps, and some of the mechanisms are a bit cranky, and you takes a little while to sort of adapt yourself to it and think, yeah, I can play this.
Mm.
I can play it on its own terms. I'm quite a fan of the modern remaster, but I feel a little bit guilty about um, seeing an old game, thinking, oh yeah, I'd like to have experienced that. Oh, look, there's a modern remaster of it. I'll go and play that. Like
Oh, I know.
Final Fantasy Tactics, which I've always wanted to play through, never really made the time to go and do it, is very shortly getting a modern remake. And again, I'm facing this dilemma, like, and I'm swinging more towards make yourself go and play it how it originally was. Go and experience that
Well,
original.
that's what I was thinking because, and you, well, yeah, you will be able to answer this one way or another because I never get a lot of remakes. So, say like Final Fantasy VII, and then you've got a glossed up. Literally, it's just remade, isn't it? But it's just nicer graphics. It's higher gloss, but it plays exactly the same.
Well,
So,
no, you're actually wrong there.
is it different?
Yeah,
It looks like it does.
I will have to correct you there because the Final Fantasy VII remake
Yeah.
is a rare remake that is, I mean, it's the same characters and it's
Okay.
kind of the same story, or they're doing a kind of a meta story on top of it that
Right.
it doesn't become clear initially, but the more you play it, you realize, oh, they're doing a clever thing here where it's kind of it knows it's a remake, if you know what I mean. But the gameplay of it is actually quite different.
There.
It's changed from a pure turn-based combat style
Okay.
to actually more of an action game that incorporates. So they really did that. That's a worthy remake because they took the essence of it, characters that people loved, the world that people loved, and they're like, here's let's explore this in a modern style that lets you explore it, and it's all flash and you can roam
Yeah.
around it, and there's no restrictions like there was back in the day, and also it plays more like a modern game. Um, Whereas some, yeah, you're right. Some are more just a reskin and
Yeah. Yeah.
jump, and but then maybe they add some quality of life features, especially these JRPGs where things like being able to turn off random battles and more save points and stuff like that. Uh,
Mm.
I'll talk about the other PlayStation 1 game I've been playing in a minute, but I've been talking for far too long. What about you, Grand? What have you been? What's been the
Wow.
highlight of your gaming life, sub
I,
life?
I didn't get round to many, but I did promise, from the last episode, to play Lumines
Ah, yeah,
on PSP.
Lumen's PSP. Okay.
Yeah, Lumines Puzzle Fusion. It's an interesting game. It's I don't know if it's not really Tetris. It's not really columns. You're kind of making square colored blocks, and the more of them you do, obviously, the more points you get. Um, it reminded me, if you can remember N64 Tetris, where it added the feature where you could fuse certain pieces together to make big squares.
Well, this sounds exciting.
It
Why am I not aware
which
of
is an
it?
awesome version of Tetris if no one's played that.
Is that just called Tetris on
It's the
N64?
next, I think it's the next Tetris on N64.
Ah, the new
Or
Tetris.
the
You're talking
new
about the new Tetris.
new Tetris, yes. So that added a little feature that you could also fuse any of the Tetris blocks together to make bigger kind of squares. If you made all, say you had 4 blocks the same color, it'd make it gold, or four of the same pieces. If you made it with like a couple of lines and a couple of squares, you'd get a silver piece, but that gave you much more points in the game, and it would screw over the opponent if you're in 2-player. Lumens kind of reminded me of that element of making square blocks. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't play it for hours and hours. I don't think it's a kind of game that is designed for that, but it's got pretty flashy graphics. It's got some decent music. It ramps up the challenge, and it got me sort of back into sort of PSP gaming. Did you ever have a PSP in the day?
No, I've never even touched one. It's a massive gaping hole. Well, that sounds dodgy. I'm very, very knowledge limited on PSP. It's one of these things that one day I will explore to some degree.
Yeah. So if you like puzzles, as I say, it's not very complicated at all. You're just literally arranging blocks. And then there's like I think they call it the timeline, sweeps across the play area, and then it just picks up what blocks you've completed. And as I say, it gets quicker, the music changes, the background changes. And apparently the designer was inspired to make a music game for the PSP. So it is very music driven in terms of, yeah, interesting kind of tunes. And I mean, I like the PSP anyway. To me, it feels like a kind of portable PlayStation.
It's funny that, because I think PSP stands for
I mean, literally, yeah.
PlayStation Portable, doesn't it?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So I reckon that's
it
probably
is.
like
Well, it's probably better.
it's like
Yeah.
a portable PlayStation. Because
Although I think it's a little bit better. It seems a bit more kind of high. It probably isn't high resolution, is it? But it does feel that it's.
power wise and stuff. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know.
You're playing on a small screen, aren't you? So. But yeah, it's Lumen's Puzzle Fusion.
Oh, I can tell you definitively, as definitive as you can if you just look something up on the internet, that the PSP is significantly more powerful than the PS1.
There you go.
With a faster CPU, more RAM, dedicated GPU, and a better screen. Oh crap! I need to go and play PSP. I don't think it's as powerful as a PS. I think it must sit between a PS1 and a PS2. The PSP.
I think it does.
It's a PS.
Yeah.
It's a PS1 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we determine how we're supposed to pronounce the name of this game? Is it Lumens or
Lumens?
Lumens.
Luminous.
Yeah. Well, I played the very latest techie version of this because I played the Lumens Arise demo on the PlayStation 5, which I was really hyped to try because I thought it was going to be a PSVR 2 demo because it's coming out with that mode, but it wasn't. It was just a regular demo, so slightly sad there. Now this is made by the creators of Tetris Effect, which was I think a great spin
That's a great
Tetris
game.
and
Yeah.
amazing in VR. So I was mega hyped for this, but I've surprised myself because I was thinking this is going to be an instant purchase,
Yeah.
and maybe the VR could swing it for me. But I don't know if I can play this game. Like I found it really confusing because maybe I've just played too much Tetris. Because it's not like you said, it's not Tetris.
It's not.
You've
No.
got to make squares, but then
Yeah.
there's this mechanic in this Arise version where you have to kind of make a bigger connected square, and then time. You remember in Tetris Effect, you like build up a meter, and then you hammer two buttons together, and it gives you like it doesn't pause it, but it almost puts it in a mode where suddenly you can.
It slows it down, doesn't it? And you can
Yeah, there's.
rocks
It
through.
was.
Yeah.
I found it really. I found myself really struggling to feel like I knew what I was doing, and I didn't feel the tangible connection to it the way I do in Tetris. That I have a sense of my progress and if I'm doing well. I'm also confused by the musical aspect of it because I'm sure when I played it on the Switch, Lumen's some version of it on the Switch, I'm sure. I mean, there's music. It plays a funky music. It's like
Yeah.
pumping soundtrack, but I somehow remembered that the music and the rhythm of it was key to some of it, or you did something in time, and I'm like, oh no, it's not. It's not a rhythm game. It's more like but because it wants to be like Tetris Effect, or that's what they're doing. It's obviously it's going to do it in a very stage by stage way, like Tetris Effect, like 30 stages where each one's got like custom background and the level evolves, and I mean it's flying off all over the place. It's very spectacular,
Yeah.
but I've actually found myself thinking this is too much. Like there's so much crap, good looking crap, but there's so much crap flying around on the screen, and there's so many effects and so much.
Yeah, it was a little like that on PSP.
It's like pixel tartrazine, and it's just I wanted to love it, and I was admiring it for its gusto and its soundtrack and audio visual like smorgasbord. But I kind of like I think this might be too much. I don't know if I want to play this. And I mean, I might go back and try the Switch version, which would be a bit gentler. I don't even know which version it is for the Switch, but yeah, interesting title.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lumen's Remastered. That's what I've got on the Switch. I should really just go and play a bit more of that and see if I can get into it. I feel like it should be a real me game because I love rhythm games, I love puzzle games, I love sort of block dropping games, but something about it has not clicked with me. And this is the second version of it I've tried, and it still hasn't clicked. But I'll definitely be going and digging out the new Tetris on N64. Feel like I've missed a trick there.
I'm sure you've played that, but it was a long time ago.
It must be a long time ago. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. It is a particularly good version of Tetris because with that added kind of niche to it. Yeah, highly recommended. And it's if you want the physical copy of it, it doesn't actually go for too much money, so it doesn't break the bank if people have got an original N64. Yeah, very decent version.
Nice. All right. Well, we've been waffling for quite a while. It's time we take a break. Recharge all the retro handhelds in the room, and then come back with some more banter. All right, we're back.
We're back.
We are back. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Have you got anything you can talk about to fill in random 8 minutes?
I only did a little bit more of Zelda, not much, but I am in a castle. Well, I'm in the same castle, but I'm on the second floor, so it's getting mildly exciting. So I had the Master Sword, and only today I've been beavering away trying to get some sort of progress. But yeah, it's a tricky little beast, Zelda. I'm not used to those kind of games too much, and I am enjoying it, but yeah, it's not that easy. And then sometimes I find myself getting lost and losing focus in terms of what I'm trying to do. But that's not the game's fault. That's more about keeping that, like we've said last time, the consistency of what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, what you're supposed to be collecting, etc.
Yeah.
So I've made probably another half an hour, 40-minute progress since last time. So I am keeping up with the bargain. So and hopefully,
More than I'm keeping up my end of it, I must say.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I haven't
Good.
turned Zelda on again now for about a month.
Oh, you're going to be in that danger zone where you fire it up and you go, "What on earth am I doing?"
Yeah, I'm already feeling a bit daunted by turning it back on again. And
And that's the thing. I even felt that after a week, and I thought, no, I've got to get back into this. I mean, I must be about halfway through. But yes, I've got all the pendants, got a Master Sword, and I'm making small progress. So hopefully continue that a little later today.
how many pieces of the yeah, you're collecting pieces of a thing, aren't you?
There's pendants. I've got 3 pendants. I've got a Master Sword. There's all sorts of other stuff, which I'm not convinced you have to collect everything to complete the game. But there's lots of random things that help you out, like flippers, and yeah. So it's quite clever in how it works. And I am a Zelda newbie because I've played none of the Zeldas on Cube, none of them on Switch. You know, I've only ever played the SNES one and failed miserably when it came out. So it is all completely new to me. This so.
I think you need those flippers. I don't think they're optional.
Yeah, I think they're
It's
important.
like when you get the power bracelet that lets you lift rocks, and then you get the flippers.
Yeah, yeah,
They're all going to be needed for certain dungeons somewhere.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it is a great game. I had a moment um, this week thinking about the some of the biggest old games that I've never got round to playing that are kind of nagging me as kind of, oh, you really should play that. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to live your entire life and not play that? What are you doing? And one of those is the NES Zelda. Go back to the beginning. Because it's all there, you know, NES Zelda. You've got dungeons and puzzles and same
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
structure, but I've never played it for more than about 10 minutes.
No,
And
no.
again, I owe it to myself, I think, to have that experience of it. Yeah, go and complete Zelda on the NES. Do it.
Yeah, and that's again what's really handy with these retro devices because yeah, I had that epiphany around arcade games and the realization that with infinite continues, you can now go back and complete these things that you couldn't in the day for cost and you know not just cost but maybe time. So I have knocked a few off my list because I completed things like RoboCop, Ghouls and Ghosts in particular. I had never seen past level 1 on that game, ever.
Amazing.
Maybe not half the level of level 1.
That's rock solid, isn't it?
It's rock solid. It
Yeah.
probably took me about 100 credits, but I completed it. It's great.
I think, is it Ghosts and Goblins on the NES?
Ghosts and
It's an
Goblins, isn't it?
absolute beast.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that might be beyond my tolerance level.
But arcades, you see, you can just fire it up on a Retroid device, infinite continue it, play through some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see the later stages of Operation Wolf, I must say,
Yeah, and me. I
because
think I only barely made it past first level in that. So.
yeah,
But as we've said, they're they're always surprisingly short. But then you realize, of course, they're short because they're probably never designed for anyone to get past level 2 or something.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Oh, Simpsons was the other one. Have you ever played through Simpsons Arcade?
No, I have played Simpsons Arcade, and I played it in the arcade once.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it. What are we talking about now?
State of play.
Should we talk about the Bond thing? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So, Grandad, did you watch the James Bond State of Play? That's not a very good name for it. What was it called? James Bond 007 First Light. First Light?
First Light.
007 First Light had its own State of Play, which is the amazing Sony showcases that we all love to watch. I quite like to watch them, but I didn't actually watch this one because it's all Bond, and I'm not a massive Bond fan. I'm sure this is going to be an amazing game. I believe you did watch it. Is that right?
I did actually watch it, thinking that you would also be watching it. So
no.
I was into watching it, and then you didn't watch it. But yes, it was only half an hour or so. But yeah, like as you say, it was exclusively about a new Bond game. And interestingly, I don't think we've had a Bond game for 12, 13 years. So it's quite a momentous launch or a relaunch of a obviously very well-known IP. Did you play a lot of Bond games back in the day? If you're not really,
do I play a lot of Bond games? No, I have not played many Bond games. I think I've played one Bond game, and that's because I promised myself, or I promised you a long time ago, that I was going to play GoldenEye, and when they dropped it on the Switch Nintendo Online offerings, I did finally play GoldenEye, and I completed GoldenEye. Took me a little while to get used to its controls. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but no, I have not played any other Bond games. I'm just looking at the definitive list of Bond games.
There is quite a lot. Yes, when you look.
Well, you're right. Like the last Bond game. Do you have any idea what the last Bond game prior to this upcoming First Light is?
Was it? Because I think I own it. Was it 007 Legends?
It was 007 Legends.
Yeah.
Which what's the concept of that one then?
It's got all classic Bond characters from most of, if not all, of the Bond films. I think the premise. I'm going to revisit that because I have got that hiding on Xbox 360, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, so
do you know what the very first Bond themed video game was?
No. Don't.
Apparently, it's a 1982 text adventure for the Spectrum called Shaken But Not Stirred.
A text adventure. That's
it.
Ooh.
That's probably the best one. I mean, this is a huge list here, spanning from fairly modest beginnings in 1982's text adventure, and then you get games that look like obvious movie spin-offs. A real veritable slew of games between 1997 and 2005. I've not played any of these. You are a big Bond fan, so are you a Bond game fan as well?
I am hitting very squarely at the N64 era. GoldenEye was a massive part of growing up, and particularly, as a lot of people did, the multiplayer. That was I mean, I'm Grandad enough to be around for that to be released, so I remember all the hype around that. The multiplayer element to GoldenEye was just added as a bit of a throwaway. It was never Yeah. The programmers were never really intending to do that. It was always supposed to be like a third-person adventure. They just coded the multiplayer and sort of slung it on. But yeah, I have got a lot of time for GoldenEye still. I mean, yes, it is a bit clunky nowadays, but like you say, the kind this is where they do things good when they re-release, don't they? If it's like on the Switch and it's just slightly touched up graphics, but not messed about with too much,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still, they haven't altered the mechanics, then yes, that does work well. And as well as GoldenEye on N64, um, Nightfire on the GameCube, as I've said before, probably practically wore the disc out because that in multiplayer was fantastic. There's a glut, or
Yeah, I'll interrupt
yeah,
you. Is that another shooter?
it's another shooter, but it's not another great multiplayer element. And again, we mainly just played all multiplayer. It's not a bad game on it in its own right, and in terms of playing through the story. And yeah, I think where there was quite a glut of bonds was because Electronic Arts picked up the license and they just knocked them out. Yeah. So there is quite a few in that era. But none of the others I ever really got as much kind of love for. It was always Nightfire, and it's hard sometimes to put my finger on why, because most of them, yeah, they look very similar. They play very they've got multiplayer aspects, but I think they started to do little additions like maybe not have the game map as large. They made it quite confined. They made it much more frenetic kind of multiplayer. And I didn't like that. The beauty of things like Nightfire and GoldenEye is there was lots of places to hide. There was lots of places to sniper. There was lots of trudging around, not always seeing where the other person was. And when you start to make that more kind of just a smaller room, all you're doing is just firing all over the place, and it just becomes more about, yeah, how many kills. And I know that is kind of the point anyway, regardless, but I think that's where they started to come away from how they were kind of developing things, and that ruined it for me. So I will always go back to only Nightfire and GoldenEye, interestingly. I have picked up some of the other ones recently, some of the EA ones, and like I said, I've got 007 Legends, so I might well kind of go back to them and report. Now, interestingly, yeah, watching this state of play, which talks about the new Bond game, which is going way back before Bond was actually Bond. I think it's him as a 25, 26-year-old.
Well, he's still Bond then, isn't he? Though that's still his name. Unless he's
Yeah, but I think he's not got his license to kill.
yeah, let it, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, he's on double O. He's not hasn't got his double O yet.
He hasn't got his 00 status. Yeah.
He's still
Yeah.
little Jimmy Bond.
But the state of play was, yeah, it was half an hour. It was taking you through the first level. Again, look, yeah, of course it's going to look very nice. It's a new game, isn't it? There was a bit of driving around, there was a bit of action. What to me is horrific, and this is how the games are changing. First Light does not have any multiplayer mode.
Well, yeah, it's not that kind of game, is it? I mean, from what I
No.
understand, it's going to be more of a very modern style, part movie, part kind of spying, kind of solve
Yeah,
missions, probably some driving. Maybe is it semi-open world, or it looks like
yeah, looked like that.
yeah,
But
vastly more ambitious attempt to make a kind of almost like an Uncharted game crossed with a bit of Hitman, but
yeah.
themed. Um,
So completely coming away from that multiplayer element. So I
yeah,
don't know how.
it's a
Yeah,
bit odd in a way, isn't it? That all the previous, well, not all the previous Bond games, but am I right in assuming that most of them ended up being shooters. Although there is one here I see 007
It's
Racing.
driving. Yeah. Yeah. There is a driving one. Yeah. I really.
James Bond is not historically like a man that just. I mean, he does shoot a lot of guns, so that's a ridiculous thing to say. But I don't think of Bond's primary raison d'être being, shooting loads of people, i.e., first
No, no.
shooter material. It's only because, I mean, he'd always. It sounds ridiculous saying now. He always ends up wielding a machine gun at some point, doesn't he? But I got the impression this new game, if I was into Bond, I'd probably be super excited because if it's got some actual sort of spying and solving missions and having to do a bit of
It looked like it was much more focusing around that. Yeah. Yeah.
that seems like a good thing. But yeah, being a modern game, it's also going to tread that fine line. It's not really a fine line at all of just trying to be another movie. Everything has to be a movie, which,
Hmm.
yeah.
And the thing is, let's say I go back to Nightfire now. I mean, probably a couple of months ago, I booted up my GameCube, had a few friends round, and we played Nightfire, and it just took me right back. It was still as much fun. There is nothing you cannot, for me, cannot beat just running around, slinging a load of proximity mines around, waiting for someone to just walk past and just blow them up. I mean, that to me, yeah, is what I want out of a Bond game. But yeah, interestingly, as times have moved, like you say, they are coming away from that and say they started changing and mucking about with the multiplayer element, and then now it's completely removed. So that just shows you how things have kind of moved on, isn't it? So
Maybe I'll give this one a whirl. Do you think it's best on see, there's PlayStation 2 as well as GameCube. Is there any definitive? It's all about the definitive version, isn't it?
and Nightfire is very well regarded, in particular.
And
I mean,
it's got a single player campaign I can play, has it?
and that's half, yeah, and that's half decent as well. And again, I've played most of that, yeah, solo as well. So I would say if you're gonna dip your toe, from anything after GoldenEye, I would go for Nightfire. If you're able to go for Cube, because it is on like PS2, Xbox, etc. But yeah,
Has it got awful GameCube first person controls?
you can alter them because we're always in a bit of a quandary with that, aren't we? Airplane controls or not?
Oh, I
I
don't
think you're
mean now. I
opposite
mean,
to me.
I just mean in general. Like that, there was a period with the GameCube where when they were doing 3D first person games and they didn't seem to quite, to me, they made some very odd choices with the camera that meant you had to do very weird things, like in um, Legend of the Wind Waker on GameCube.
Right.
I remember it having some slightly odd. It wasn't just a regular 3D that's so well established now with one stick moving you forward and one camera, and it just maybe it's all reconfigurable.
Oh, you can configure it because that was the other funny thing, and I have many memories of booting Nightfire up and say if you've got a load of mates with you, there's at least half the room that want their controls opposite to the others. So you have to go into the menus and swap it all around. It is completely configurable, but it always made me laugh. And then I think you can save your settings, so it's just making sure once you've got it all in, because yeah, it is that thing, isn't it? Some people prefer airplane controls. Some people like, yeah, down is up, up is down, or literally up is up or down is down. So you're always going to be one or the other, aren't you? So, but you can customize.
Apparently, the GameCube version runs at 60 frames per second.
And widescreen mode.
All right. Oh, okay. I'm pledging now. I'm going to try this. I'm going
So
to.
there you go. You see, I've sold it on you.
You are.
Yeah.
But which Bond do I have to play as? Because it's got Pierce Brosnan's mug on the cover. Have I got to play Pierce Brosnan again?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, You've got to play Brosnan, haven't you? So
Well,
I'm sensing you don't like Pierce Brosnan as Bond.
well, I don't know. He's all right. I think there should be a. But which is the Bond?
There's lots of different characters as well because you can choose them all on the multiplayer. But yeah, if you're going solo,
Yeah, perhaps Legend. Is Legends going to be the Bond game where you like choose your Bond and you could,
yeah,
and
I
it's
think you
like all the
can.
Bonds and it's like
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping because I've got not very good memory of it, but it is hiding in my Xbox collection. So I am now following the state of play. I'm going to dig it out and dig out some of the old ones and kind of revisit them a bit, just to give them a bit of bit more kind of time with them.
right. I'm going to try it. I've realised as well my earlier claim that I'd never played any Bond game. I think, looking at this list in a little bit more detail, I think I've played A View to a Kill on the Commodore 64. You know, I think I have. I think I played this.
There you go. Mr. Tech has played a Bond game.
I think this was on some compilation I had. I think I've played A View to a Kill, Commodore 64.
But yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on Nightfire. Go in with you just try and go in cold, just boot it up, give it a good go, see what you think.
Yeah, will do. I do like a shooter from time to time. Don't know quite how easily it's going to play on a little handheld.
Yeah, and again, obviously, what you're playing it on.
But I do have many options. One of them being the Steam Deck. So maybe I'll give this the full respect of the TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. I'm going to do it.
That's my challenge to you for next time.
Right, challenge accepted.
Challenge, is it?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to
Not much of a challenge.
I'm going to complete Silent Hill PlayStation 1 by
yeah.
And I'm going to have played 007 Nightfire.
Yeah. So I was never into Silent Hill. I completely avoided that because I was a Resident Evil.
Well, they seem pretty. I feel like if you're a Resident Evil person, you could probably just hop the fence and be a Silent Hill person. I mean, the puzzles seem very similar levels of.
Yeah.
Find these objects that have these shapes and stick them into holes on plaques in the wall that have the same shape, and a door opens. Although there was a very cunning puzzle in Silent Hill to do with having to play specific notes on a piano, which I was refusing to look up the solution to this, and then in the end, I got told it by someone else who's also playing it, and I'm a bit cross with myself that I didn't get it because I did read the clues, like there's proper clues, and again that's the interesting thing about this being an older game. What they expected of the player, like the clues are there for you to read, and it like most clues in a lot of puzzle games like this, you can kind of guess the solution without even reading them. You know, you can read the clues, but solutions. But no, you actually had to read these clues and understand what it was going on about. And I thought I'd had it all down, but I'd misunderstood something in a vital component of this puzzle, which meant I was just never going to get it the way I was doing it. But yeah, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, they're similar.
Silent Hills, and as well as Resident Evils, actually, I think maybe Silent Hills are going for even more money than Resident Evil. They're particularly. I'm sure I walked into a CEX the other day, and there's Silent Hill for about £100 on PS2 or something. They're picking up quite a bit of value.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a super valuable. It's like one of the offshoot games or something, because now I've discovered this. I've naturally kind of been binging like all the other titles, and I'm looking at what else I can play. And I got very confused because there's Silent Hill 1 and 2, and there's Silent Hill Origins and Silent Hill Shattered Memories and Silent Hill this and that. I was like, oh my god, there's tons of this stuff. So yeah, perhaps one of those. Oh yes, Silent Hill Shattered Memories on PlayStation 2 here seems to be someone's asking £950 for it. So
There you go. Yeah.
I guess because it's a franchise that had its own lull. Like there was a Silent Hill 2 remake just a couple of years ago, which I think is meant to be very good. The Silent Hill remake, and there's a game out shortly, or maybe next year or this year, called Silent Hill F, which I don't know how it links to the other games franchise-wise, but that is the current latest Silent Hill game, Silent Hill F. Yeah. Oh, releases this September. So yeah, some high gloss Silent Hill.
There you go. High gloss.
Maybe I'll go all in, or maybe I'll get fed up of it.
I will not be buying the new Bond game.
Oh.
No, sorry.
Well, maybe by the time it's like 2035, you'll be playing it emulated on something.
Yeah, possibly.
You'll be attaching the nodes of your retro game cerebral mind gaming device.
Yeah.
And you'll be streaming it into your brain.
That reminds me, have you ever tried? You can get those glasses, can't you? I know it's not quite the same, but you can get those glasses that project up to 120 inch and plug anything into it.
Yeah,
like a device.
That's a good bit of tech to talk about. Yeah, I've seen these. Some other YouTubers that I follow have recently been sponsored by these things.
Right. Always wondered what they're like.
Yeah, these. Yeah, you pop them on, don't you? And then it means it's like playing a game on a massive cinema screen.
Yeah.
So you can just lie back in bed. I'm really tempted. I am really tempted.
I am tempted with that. I mean, I know I've got a good setup and thing, but I'm just intrigued as to how good an effect it can do. And with thinking about all the retro devices and how you can plug literally anything into it, can't you? So anything that's got an input, you could then, in theory, play thousands of retro games on a huge screen anywhere. So you're not tied to a particular room, or put your headphones on. And they're still quite pricey though, aren't they, for good ones?
I imagine they are. Yeah, I think it's these X-Real ones, the ones
That's it.
that I'm part of. Yeah, actually, that's not. Oh, okay. There's like 300 quid. There's a 200 quid model.
Yeah.
I like the way they're marketed as, you're in a shared living room and you want a game, but someone else is watching.
Yeah.
Strictly on the TV or something, so you can just pop these shades on and play, Mario in like you're in the IMAX cinema. I think I'd need to experience it. I'm quite intrigued. I would never.
I want to see it, but
I'd struggle to buy this as a blind purchase. No, pun intended, and gamble on it. I think I'd need to go and try some. Whether it would last, but it's quite appealing, isn't it? Lying back in bed.
It's just the portability of that and just slinging them on, and I think that'd be. But like you say, there's nowhere to really try them anywhere. Well, not that I know of.
No, I don't know where you would try them. We need to get famous, Mr. Tech, Grandad. God, I'm getting the lines really are blurred. We need to get famous. So if you're listening to this, like and subscribe, make us famous, and then we can get these companies to send us.
If anyone wants to send us a pair of glasses, we will happily try them.
Works, yeah.
And we will review them.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
even need to be paid to review anything. Just send us
We
the
don't
stuff.
want any payment. We're happy to review and discuss if the makers of what are they called? XR real glasses?
X-Real,
X-Real?
Air, Curious.
Yeah. That's the next thing, isn't it? We got to get our hands on that. A pair of them.
Someone will get a pair at some point. I know they will. It won't. It won't. It won't. It's inevitable, isn't it? One of us is going to get some at some point.
Undoubtedly, I think they're just priced, like you say, a little bit out of the realms of blind buying. But if, as time moves on, like these retro devices, it'll start hitting that pinch point of, oh, actually, that's not a bad cost. And yeah, I'll give that a punt. Plug in a retro device and yeah, see what it does. Well, you could do movies as well, I suppose. Can't you? You could do anything with it, any input.
Yeah. I'm curious how comfortable it is. Like, is it the kind of thing
Yeah.
you sustain?
Yeah, could you watch a whole movie, 2.5, 3 hour
Yeah.
film comfortably?
It's a good solution if you live in a tiny little studio apartment somewhere and you can't even
Yeah,
put
yeah,
TV in. You can just have a pair of glasses.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time we take another break, and then let's see if there's any other news we want to talk about.
Is there any news?
Is there any news? Is there any other news you followed? I don't think I've followed any gaming news this week.
No, I'm not aware of any. So it was just that state of play.
I feel like there's something that was happening that I'm missing.
But I'm not usually on the news radar, really. I'm under it.
I'm on the radar. I have my news radar
Yeah.
tuned, but nothing's really triggered me this week. Not triggered, you know.
They say what I want to do is start sifting through all these piles of games and seeing if there's any decent stuff. And it has been quite mad the last few months. Just this quantity of good, cheap stuff, not just games, but consoles. I told you, didn't I? I picked up a Saturn the other day.
Nice,
Sega Saturn.
incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Have you managed to boot it up and play anything on it?
I have. It came with only one game, Sega Rally, which is a classic. Interestingly, it looks far worse than the Dreamcast version,
Right.
which makes no sense to me.
Hang on, is the Saturn
But the Saturn supersedes the Dreamcast, and I think it's more powerful. So I did. Yeah, came with only Sega Rally, 2 pads, 60 quid, which is about half the current value of what it would cost you to go and get one, because they are climbing.
Hang on a minute, Grandad. I think you got that wrong.
The other way around.
You've got right. Yeah, the Dreamcast. Of course, the Dreamcast is later than the Saturn.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Not like that many years afterwards. Again,
Yeah,
two consoles that I'm.
when did the Saturn come out?
Hugely inexperienced in. Both the Saturn and the Dreamcast. I've never really played them or played any other exclusives or anything. Probably, probably all Sonic, isn't it? I mean, you need more blooming Sonic.
No. I mean, there is Sonic on there. Yeah, when did the Dreamcast come out, actually? Yeah, so there is a 5-year gap, actually. Yeah, you're right. So Saturn is 94 and Dreamcast 98 in Japan, 99 North America. Yeah. 99 European release. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, so that does explain why it's worse. But it's supposed to be a more authentic feel. But yeah, it only came with that one game. So again, I'm not sure I want to go down the rabbit hole of trying to collect Saturn games because that could be a pricey endeavor.
Yeah. I guess you might find the odd one here and there.
Yeah, but a console I never really had. So I was always intrigued to kind of try it. I did have a Dreamcast, and I've got a Dreamcast as well. But I did have one back in the day. But yeah, Saturn is again one of those pricey systems. There's a lot of good shooters on the Saturn. It's not just all about Sonic. Yeah. But again, they'll cost you hundreds of pounds.
I had a little splurge, and I bought another one of these modern old games, an old game splashed up in modern style, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I bought on the Switch. I bought the Switch 2 version, which is 2D action platformer with flashy animations and Metroidvania-ish exploration, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that a lot. Got some good ratings by people that I trust, and thought I shouldn't really have bought another game, but I just chucked my money at it. That's proving to be quite good. Let's see how long that lasts. And the other one, again, PlayStation 1. Now, this is another game that I've long had in my brain as a must play. I must play this. I think the highest rated, one of the highest rated SNES era RPGs, and possibly one of the most beloved Final Fantasy games. This is Final Fantasy VI, also known as Final Fantasy III in Japan when it first released. So that's a bit confusing.
That is confusing.
Is it 6? Have I just made a mistake? No, it's Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy III. Yeah, if you look it up and you're into JRPGs, again, this is one of those ones that is constantly talks about as probably the best Final Fantasy and one of the best SNES era JRPGs. Had to do a little bit of tech magic to run this, because I didn't have to, but I wanted to. I was looking into the best platform to play this on, as you do, because there's also a whole series of remasters of the early Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
Pixel remasters, and it's again, then make that decision. Oh, should I go and spend money on remastered versions of these? No. Let me try and play it. I'll play it the original. Let's play the SNES version. Let's try and play it as original as possible. But I did discover there's a quite interesting ROM hack for this game, because the translations available, apparently when it was first translated, it was translated in a way that was a little bit too kind of irreverent and almost not serious enough. And then when they later released it on the Game Boy Advance, it got a different, supposedly better translation. Anyway, this hack that you can apply to the ROM kind of patches in what is supposed to be like the best translation that's honors both, but makes it a bit better. And it's one of those things, if you're going to invest untold hours into something like this, it's quite interesting, especially these games that came over from Japan.
Yeah.
The community has, what they're like people will patch things and find tools and whatever, and so I'm playing a ROM hacked version of it to try and get the best experience. Let's see how far I can go. I'm being a bit stupid starting what is going to be another 50, probably like
that could be a big
hour game. I haven't finished the others yet. What am I doing? But anyway, getting dragged left, right, and center with whims of what to play. Oh, apparently it only takes 33.5 hours.
Well, that's all right.
I'll have it finished by next time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Oh.
I need to pick something to play. Shall I pick something at random again?
Yeah. Pick something random.
Behind me, I could just grab something blindly. There's quite a lot of different stuff behind me.
I think you got to go with your gut. You got to see what you've accumulated. Have a look at all the physical stuff. Find something new, or find something a little bit different that maybe you've overlooked. What
Yeah, I would.
What are you feeling like?
Right. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
So, Eve Valkyrie PS4 VR.
Oh.
Whatever the hell that is. I have no clue.
Yeah, that is a space shootery. I think I've played Eve Valkyrie once in some format. I don't think I've played.
Franchise. It must be, mustn't it? Yeah, Eve Valkyrie. PS4 VR. Acquired, I don't know, 2-3 months ago.
Oh dear, I think I've got bad news for you, Grandad.
No good.
Well, I think the servers have been shut down for it. This is just going to cement the hatred of modern games. It looks like this was a multiplayer space online shooter.
Oh, come off.
And I think naturally it required online servers, and I see suggestions online that the servers are shut down, so that means the single player is not even playable.
Can't even play the single player.
You can't even play the single player.
Right, this is exactly what I'm on about. This is what the podcast is about from the Grandad.
He's
what on earth?
The physical game off the shelf, and he can't play it because
I can't play my own physical game because of servers.
You've been had. You should have thrown that back at whoever was trying to flog that.
Well, it came with a headset, to be fair. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's something on the disc that will play. That's a bit rough, isn't it? If the entire thing is.
That's really rough. I'll have to try it now and report back. But that's exactly what I do not like about the modern age and online only. See, this is the problem. Yeah. I should have picked a SNES game, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should have done. All right. I think that about wraps it up for this episode of our amazing podcast. Do you think so, Grandad?
I think so. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot. I think it's good to chat about Bond. Yeah, I'll be intrigued to find out your thoughts on that next time.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to dig into that for sure.
Yeah.
Made a commitment. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time. And see you, avid listeners, in the comment section.
Yes, and thank you to our listeners. And I say yes. And we just keep an eye on the videos that we post. And thank you for your time and dedication to the podcast.
Well said. All right, see you next time.